Hey folks, Allison here. Today I want to talk about this question. Are you reactive or are you responsive? Now we all know, sometimes we have very, very strong emotions, especially when something upsetting happens, and we can react emotionally, all right? What's the difference between that and responding? I'm going to talk about that in a minute. First, I want to talk about what are emotions, to really understand them. Every emotion is a feeling, but every feeling is not an emotion. Now, Dr. Conrad Baars, the great Catholic psychiatrist, described emotions as psychological motors. They move us. Think of the word emotion. And they move us naturally toward all that's good, beautiful, and true, and away from what's not. All right, so we think about our reactions. All right, you see a baby bunny, you want to go toward it. You see somebody didn't curb their dog, you want to move away from it, all right? We want to move toward all that's good, beautiful, and true, and away from what's not. The key, though, and the essence of emotional health is that all our emotions want to and need to be guided by reason, all right? That we want to take into account what our emotional reactions may be, because emotions give us information. All right, if I feel thirsty, it means I'm getting dehydrated, that on a physical level, so I know I need to take a drink. All right, if I feel hungry, I know I need to eat something. Those are physical feelings that give us emotion, give us information. So if it's cold outside, I need to put on a sweater. So they give us information, but our emotions give us information as well. So if something is making me feel sad, if something is making me feel angry, it's giving me information that now I need to think about what I'm going to do with that information. All right, so giving you the example, all right, if it's cold, I have two options. I can think it through and say, well, maybe I need to turn up the heat in the house, or maybe I need to put on a sweater. All right, so we think that through, and we do. We kind of do it automatically. Oh, I think wow, the heat's only on 60. Let me raise it. All right. But our emotions are giving us information. So when something happens and it sparks strong emotions, many people just react emotionally without thinking through what the response would be. So let's say something happens at work and you're upset by it. Hopefully, you guide your emotions by reason and don't mouth off to your boss or slug them, right? We want to think it through. And sometimes in certain circumstances, we find people can control their emotions because they know what the consequence will be. They don't want to lose their job. They don't want to get arrested. But sometimes in our interpersonal relationships, we are not as deferential. We feel like we can just react and the other person just has to deal with it. But the key to emotional health and the key to happiness and healthy relationships is to respond. So responding is taking in the information about what's going on, what I'm feeling. What is the situation? Let's look at the facts of the situation and then think through what's the best way to handle this and what's the best way to express this. All right, I can either yell at my kids about something or I can calm down and explain what bothered me and what needs to happen. Right? So are you reactive or are you responsive? And I'm going to tell you, if you're very reactive, you probably have a lot of interpersonal problems. So the key is to learn how to be responsive. Now, that being said, sometimes when we've got like trauma reactions, we may find it hard to really guide our emotions by reason because they're very, very strong. And if that's the case, I really encourage you to reach out to a good Catholic therapist. Just link below this video, because that is the goal. God wants you to be happy, and He wants you to be in control of your emotions, all right, or the expression of those emotions, all right? We can't control what we're feeling initially, but we can control how we express it, what we do about that feeling, so that maybe that feeling can change. All right, so if I express something to my husband, hey, when you did this, it really hurt my feelings, I can have hope that he's going to make the change and understand, and we don't have that problem anymore. All right, so are you reactive or are you responsive? The goal is to be responsive. If you're struggling with that, please reach out to a Catholic therapist. It can be so helpful and absolutely absolutely life-changing. Hope you find that helpful. God bless you.